guys, it's Eddie, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about the time where I went to court. I'm sweating, no one judge me, it's hot in here. So this story, I'm just going to lead up by saying it wasn't, I don't want to say I did nothing wrong, because I did, and I take full responsibility for it. But the other kid in the situation is a big liar. So this school year, I'm going into my junior year. I actually start in about like 20 days, I'm pretty sure. Is today the 10th? I don't know, whatever it is. And last year, how it works at our school is we have different cycles. So because I go to a trade school, we have about 2 weeks of our trade and then 2 weeks of normal academic classes. So like the math, science, history, like stuff like that. I was in my shop cycle, and not all the shops have the same lunchtime, so you're really with, like, it depends on what other shop has the same lunchtime as you. So I'm in carpentry, so the other shops in my lunch are culinary, HVAC. This light is showing off all of my sweat. Hold on. So all of my like super close friends that I have lunch with on like academic shop or academic cycle days, they are not in any of those shops that I just mentioned, so we don't have lunch together. But I have a friend in culinary, and we were sitting at the table together, and then one of her friends and then one of his friends, they join us after, and I think they're both in auto. So they sat down at our table, and one of the kids, he's very annoying. Like, I'm sorry, he's just not, like, he's so annoying. He got, like, his food, because he gets food from the school. I don't, because I usually get home at around, like, 1:45-ish, so I have lunch once I get home. And this kid was just, he was being, like, especially annoying. He was picking up handfuls of food, pretending to like throw it at us. He got his like water bottle and was like mixing it with all the food and just making like this really gross things. He kept trying to grab me and my friend's hands and like put it in. He was just being so annoying. So we kept telling him to stop. We didn't want to tell like a teacher, because how it works in my school is, if the teachers always say like, if you see this, make sure you tell an adult. If someone tells an adult, the whole school is gonna make fun of you. You're a snitch, you're a snitch. That happened to me last year, which I'm not gonna get into that. He finally, not completely, I don't want to say like fully, but he calmed down with his nasty food mixings, and he pulled out his phone and he started taking pictures of my friends and I, and obviously we didn't like tell him to do that, so it was getting annoying. And he kept putting on these weird filters, and again, we didn't want him to do it, so we kept telling him, like, please stop, please stop. And then that's when he started picking up like pieces of his food and then actually throwing it at us. And in the moment, as mad as I was sort of, I wasn't like ha 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 like having fun laughing, but I was sort of laughing. And then here's where the whole thing kind of like begins. So have you ever said something to one of your friends that you obviously don't mean, and they like are like laughing at it and they know it's a joke, and then you just like go along with your day but like it never happened? So that's when I looked at him and I said, I'm gonna kill you. And we were both laughing at that point, and he started laughing after, and he obviously knew I didn't mean it. I mean, I would assume so if he was laughing about it. So then that's when a state trooper, because there's a state trooper who like is kind of watching over the cafeteria at our school, she came over to us and started yelling at him for like throwing the food and like taking pictures and stuff, and he had to clean it up. And that's when the bell rang, and I thought it was over. Like, I thought nothing of it. And then the next morning, it was a half day, and we usually end half days at around like 11:45-ish, like around there. And so I want to say it was like 10:30, and I was sitting in the carpentry classroom doing my work, and the principal came in and she was like, Eddie, like, can I see you? So she like brings me into the hallway, and I thought she was just gonna give me like a talk about something, but no, she decides to bring me to the office, and instead of going just like through the hallways to go to the office, she made us go outside. Here was the door, like the carpentry right here. Instead of going just like to the office, she made us go out this door and just walk around the school till we get back to the office, which I don't know why, nor do I care. She brought me to her office, and I sat with this little chair, and then she called the state trooper in, and she looked at me, she was like, did you bring up any sort of weapons about like another student? And I was like, no. Like, I was so confused. I was like, no, I didn't. We have the student Eddie here, and another student was like brought it up to me that he said he was going to like use some sort of weapon and kill him. And right there, I was so confused, because all I said to him, again, I should not have said it. It was very, like, not a good thing for me to do. But a lot of people say it to their friends every day, and I don't understand why it got me in trouble. But apparently, this kid told the principal and said I was going to shove a 9mm Glock down his throat. This literally did not happen. I don't know where he got that information from, and he is a liar. He is a liar. So if you get sent to the principal's office, or if you like tell the principal something that happened, they'll make you fill out this statement form. So it basically says like time of the incident, date of the incident, and then describe what happened before the incident, describe the incident in detail, and then describe what happened after the incident. Which is honestly like, I don't even think they do anything with it. I think they literally just take it, read it over, and then throw it away. So I had to fill out one of those, and then my friend, who was also at the table, she walked in. So I looked at her and I was like, what are you doing here? And she was like, yeah, I was told to come down to the office. And then the other kid, not the one who lied about that, the other kid, he also walked in like after my friend did. I was sitting there for about like 40 minutes, I want to say, and the day was gonna end in like 15 minutes now. So I was worried. I was like, I want to go home. All the buses start coming like early. The buses come like 30 minutes before the bell rings to leave. So I was kind of like, can I please just like leave this place and go on the bus? Then the principal walks out of her office and says, we have to call, like, Eddie, we have to call your dad about this, or we have to call your parents. Something I forgot to mention is at the end of the day before, so the day that like the whole incident took place, I walked into the cafeteria because that's where the culinary kids wait, and I walked up to my friend, and she was sitting next to her other friend. So I looked at him and I was like, is she okay? And she was like, no, she's scared. So I asked her, I was like, what are you scared about? And she was like, my friend, I'm not gonna say his name, told me that the liar said that he was gonna bring a gun to school tomorrow and kill you and I, meaning me and my friend. So, and they were really terrified about it. I was like, guys, it's not gonna happen. Like, he's just trying to scare you. He's a bitch. He's an asshole. It's not gonna happen. Like, don't worry about it. So then I got in the car after my dad got there, and then I texted my friend, and she was like, are you, like, where are you? And I was like, I'm going home now. My dad had to come into the office. She was like, yeah, all of our parents have to come into the office. So let's just say my parents were not happy. They didn't ground me necessarily. I did have like a whole bunch of plans for the weekend. So the tickets were already purchased for the haunted house thing. So he was like, because they were already like purchased, I'm not gonna take away that, but you are not going roller skating or any of like your other plans. And I kept trying to tell him, like, I didn't say that though. I didn't say it. And then I got home and I went right to my bed. I actually fell asleep. I took a long nap. And then my mom got home because my dad works from home and my mom works in the hospital. She's not a nurse, but like she works in the hospital. And she gets home around like 4:30. So she came home and I was asleep. She came into my room and woke me up. She was like, Ed, I just got this email from your principal. And I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, read it. So she gave me her phone and I read it. I got 10 days of OSS. 10 days of out of school suspension. Yes, it might be 10 days off from school, but it's not fun because it goes on your record. So I also had to go to court about a month later. And it was a youth court a few towns like over. And I was very nervous. I literally wrote down my whole like statement thing and I was gonna read it. I kept practicing it over and over again. I know it's kind of like extreme, but it was my first time ever going to court and I was scared. We got there and we walked inside and we have to go through like kind of like, you know, at the airport, you have to take everything out of your pocket and then like walk through the thing, just the metal thing. So we have to go through that, and then they were like, okay, now you can go up those stairs and just sit in like the little waiting area, which is just a few like benches. So we had stickers with like our numbers on it. So there was this woman who came out of an office that was like kind of like a side office. She was like, number whatever, like please come back here. And I thought it was the actual court, like in front of the judge, but it wasn't. It was just this office with like a few computers. And then she took me into like the far back corner and she had me sit in this chair and she just asked me the normal questions like, are you currently taking any medications? In the past 6 months, have you done this? Like the normal things, you know? And after about 5 minutes of answering those questions, she was just kind of looking at her notepad and like writing stuff down for maybe a minute, 2 minutes. And then she was like, okay, we're all set for now. She took me outside back to like, the waiting room. She was like, okay, you can go sit down. And then she called my parents in. So she was like, blah blah blah's parents, like please come in, like number whatever's parents, please come in. So they went in and I was just kind of sitting on like the bench by myself, still with the other two families. And I'm not even lying, maybe 30 seconds later, if not 45, a minute later, they walked out and they looked at me, they were like, we're all done. So I walked up to them and she was like, yeah, it's not even on your record anymore. It's like it never happened. You're not gonna be able, you're not gonna like see the judge today. Like like everything's done. It's literally like it never happened. So I was happy about it, but at the same time I was like, okay, thank you for wasting our time then. Like thank you for, like we had stuff to do and you just wasted our time and now it's like it never even happened. I had to go to this court thing, stay there for 10 minutes and answer the normal questions that all the doctors ask, get 10 days of OSS, and then now you're saying it's like it's never happened. So yeah, thank you for wasting our time. I know a lot of people might, like I said before, a lot of people might think 10 days of OSS, that's amazing. No, it's really not. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment down below what you want to see me do in an upcoming video and I might just do it. Bye guys.